The men's 110-meter hurdles, the semi-finals. We had heats yesterday, so we've got the athletes had a first taste of the track here in Berlin. And Ortega, the world leader, of course, not here because he's in the process of switching nationality to Spain. World record holder, Aries Merritt, is here. The man who will be the favourite, David Oliver. First two, just from the semi-finals, will go through to the final, together with another two on times. And there's the lineup for the first race. Parchment of Jamaica, that's up 13-second man, Shubenkov, multiple Russian records. So we'll just pan across the athletes here. And interesting, we've got 9 runners here because Svoboda had a full start, but has been allowed on appeal to take part as an additional runner. Then we note that Ronnie Ash, who also had a full start, is not so favoured. So Svoboda, former European indoor champion at 60-meter hurdles. Then next to him, João de Oliveira from Brazil, man with the best of 13:47. Johanny Portilla of Cuba, the Cuban champion this year, the best of 13:30, also a finalist at the Pan American Games. Then Garfield Darien from France, the world indoor bronze medalist and twice the European silver medalist at 110-meter hurdles, 2010 and 2012. So we're coming to the favoured runners in those central lanes, which they've earned by their heat performances. Then we have Hansel Parchment, surprise Olympic bronze medalist in London at 2012, second in this year's Jamaican Championships, and at his best, he's run 12:94, which makes him the fastest in this field. Just outside this year at 13:08. Now Sergei Shubenkov, twice the European champion, the bronze medalist 2 years ago in Moscow, Russian record holder at 13.06. Very consistent, top-class runner. Shane Brathwaite of Barbados, not to be confused with the 2009 world champion, Ryan Brathwaite, no relation, but both from Barbados. Bronze medalist at the Commonwealth Games and at this year's Pan American Games. Alec Harris, the American, burst onto the scene last year, and he's this year's US indoor champion at 60-meter hurdles, came 4th in the US Championships. USA having 4 runners here, of course, with a wild card entry as well. And then the field completed by Sekou Kaba, former Francophone Games winner, Canadian, going in lane 9 here. First two, sure to go through. Svoboda from the Czech Republic, de Oliveira of Brazil, Portilla of Cuba, Darien of France, Parchment, Jamaica, Shubenkov, Russia, Brathwaite, Barbados, Harris, United States, Kaba, Canada. United States, of course, the country with the greatest tradition at sprint hurdling throughout the history of the sport, both at Olympic and world level. And they're represented very strongly here with Harris in this race in lane 8. So where they go, well, Parchment was pretty slowly away, so outside him Shubenkov much better, and so too Darien of France. And Harris of the USA has got a lot to do, but it's Shubenkov now coming through. Shubenkov wins it, Parchment in second place, and Darien in third. 13:09 the winning time. Well, we said Shubenkov was a big meeting competitor, and he certainly shone to come through to take that race.
Well, he did indeed, and he won it on the start. Hansel Parchment in lane number 5 here. Yes, you shake your head, young man. You're not going to be able to start like that in the final and get away with it. The Russian's so predictable because he normally does start well, and he did in the semi-final. Parchment was lucky, but good enough to come through in terms of qualifying. But no, it was a good effort by the Russian. 13:09 unofficially. We'll wait for confirmation. But a hug and a high five Level of respect there between the athletes, but that pretty much went to the form book, didn't it, in terms of the positions. But the start that Hansel Parchment got, he's a tall guy, he's 1.96 meters tall, 7 strides to the first hurdle isn't a problem for him. He just needs to do it quicker, come to the final. And the efficient hurdling, though, of Shebenkov, good indoors and pretty good outdoors as well, good qualifying.
I think impressive hurdling, wasn't it, Rob, with the snapping down after each hurdle?
Really good, actually. I thought Shebenkov ran very well indeed. Parchment, considering how appalling his start was, did well to come through for 13.16. As Catherine said, he cannot afford to have a start like that in the final. But he is there, Parchment. Shebenkov came through really well, lowered his own national record to 13.06 earlier this season, so he is having, even by his own pretty high standards, a very good campaign. Garfield Darien out-dipping Alec Harris on the line, another disappointment for the Americans. Darien at 13.25, he's living dangerously as a fastest loser, but he is in with a chance, albeit a slim one.
So looking back on the fine win there for Shebenkov, just 0.03 outside his Russian record. He wins in 13.09 from Parchment 13.16. Those two to the final. Darien have to see whether 13.25 stands up as a fastest time, possibly not.
The second semi-final of the men's 110 hurdles. What a lineup here. Only 2 to go through as of right. And there's Pascal Martino-Lagarde, Aries Merritt, the Olympic champion, and Omar McLeod of Jamaica, the second fastest man in the world this year. On the inside then, in 2, from Canada, Pan American finalist earlier this year, Jonathan Cabral, 13.37, a lifetime best set this season. He will need to improve on that, you suspect, if he is to advance to what is lining up to be a cracking final. Next to him, Konstantinos Duvalides, 6th in the last 2 Olympic finals. Made the European final in 2012. 13.33. Again, might need a PB to get in the mix. And what about this brilliant Frenchman, Pascal Martino-Lagarde? 13.06 this year, 12.95 after spending most of 2014 as the world #1. European indoor champion, world indoor silver medalist. Big pressure on the Frenchman, because the Olympic champion and world record holder is in the lane outside him. Aries Merritt has bigger battles to come in September with a kidney transplant, but he'll have his mind perfectly focused on the task tonight, which is making the final. A lovely smile from the American. And then to a man who's had a huge advance this season, from 13.44 down to 12.97. He is the fastest man to arrive here in Beijing, Omar McLeod of Jamaica. Can he go one better here and make himself one of the 8 men lining up for the final? And cue the raucous applause. Wen Junxi, Asian Games champion last year. What a moment for him in front of a packed, vociferous home crowd. World Student Games gold medalist from Barbados, 6th in the Commonwealth last year. Gregmar Swift just missed a medal in the Pan American Championships, and that was a very, very high standard indeed. And on the outside in 9, 5th in the world indoors last year, the German national champion, Gregor Traber. This is absolutely loaded with talent, this semi-final, and only 2 to advance. Cabral, Canada in 2, Duvalides, Greece in 3, Martino-Lagarde, France in 4, Merritt, the Olympic champion and world record holder in 5, McLeod, the second fastest in the world this year from Jamaica in 6, G of China in 7, Swift, Barbados 8, Traber, Germany in lane 9. Second semi-final of the men's high hurdles, 2 to advance to the big showdown. Cameras focusing on the young Chinese contender, but here's the Olympic champion. He's been here so many times, but there will be pressure on his left from Martino-Lagarde and on his right from Omar McLeod. A lot of noise in the stadium, but they're away first time. Good start from Merritt. He's got the advantage. McLeod trying to close him down. Martin Lagarde is getting ever closer. Merritt's going to take this one. Merritt from McLeod, and Martin Lagarde will have to wait to see if he can go through as a fastest loser. Well, considering what's going on at the moment in the Olympic champion's life, he is absolutely pinpoint sharp. He got away well, he came under pressure from the Jamaican, but he was more than up to the task. Merritt's been rounded down to 13.08, McLeod 13.14, and Martin Lagarde at the moment occupying a fastest loser spot. But that was really high standard there from Aries Merritt, showing all his experience.
And he's getting quicker, a season's best of 13.08, got into the US team, finished third, and he's been getting better ever since. He controlled the race. It was good running by Omar McLeod, the young Jamaican inside him, and Pascal Martineau Lagarde as well. But the first two automatically, Merritt and McLeod. But Aries Merritt, of course, is a danger. He won that Olympic gold in London, and then within, 4 weeks of that then, snatched the world record at 12.80 seconds. Always a danger man, and he led that from start to finish.
Interesting fact, McLeod here from Jamaica, you watch, he hit every single hurdle in that race and still finished second. So he's got a lot of improvement, I think, in the final.
The other interesting thing, I thought Martineau Lagarde's hurdling was far from fluent as well. He doesn't seem to be able to bring his Diamond League type form into these championships very successfully.
Aries Merritt, very impressive qualification there. He's laid down a brilliant marker ahead of the final. Aries Merritt takes that one. Omar McLeod in second. Martin Lagarde will have to wait and see if 13.17 is good enough.
Coming now to the third and final semi-final. The lineup obviously including the great David Oliver there, defending world champion. Goes in lane 4.
Third and final semi-final of the men's 110 metre hurdles.
Going through the lane order now. In lane 1, Artur Noga, 5th at the Olympics back in 2008, European bronze in 2012, the Polish record holder for the event. 4th in his heat, 13.49. On his right, Lawrence Clark of Great Britain, 4th in the Olympics. Coached by Malcolm Arnold, who coached the great Colin Jackson, the Olympic champion world record holder, so obviously a man that knows the technique, I'm sure. He goes in 3. But on his outside, the great David Oliver, the defending IWF world champion, number 1 in the world back in 2012, and made a wonderful comeback to repeat the feat in 2013 and win the world championships there. Fastest qualifier here with 13.15 in his heat. To his right, Matthias Müller, the 5 times German champion, second in his heat with a time of 13.35. And for France, this very good Frenchman, Dimitri Basco, 5 times the French champion, 2 in and 3 outdoor championships to his merit. The Commonwealth Games champion, Andrew Riley of Jamaica. 3rd in their championships, 2nd in Atlanta. He was 2nd in his heat, 13.43. And from Spain, Yadel Contreras, ex-Cuban, now lives in Spain since 2012. 4th in his heat, 13.48. Making up this big field, Blazaz Bargi of Hungary, 4th at the European Championships, indoors and out. 3rd in qualifying, 13.45. All eyes obviously will be on the defending champion, Oliver in 4. Either side of him, Clark, Bula, and then Basco maybe, with Riley of Jamaica making up the favourites seated in the middle of the field. So down to their blocks, the 3rd and final semi-final of the men's 110 hurdles. Noga of Poland, Clark, Great Britain, Oliver, USA, Bula, Germany, Basco, France, Riley, Jamaica, Contreras of Spain, and Bargi of Hungary. Away first time. Well, Basco got a great start, the Frenchman in the middle of the picture in the black there, but Oliver is coming hard now over those last 3 or 4 hurdles. Oliver is clear, Basco is in second place, and between maybe the German, Bühler getting third. Well, Oliver 13.17 there. Comfortable run, really.
And it was a good run by Bascu, Dimitri Bascu of France in lane number 6, very close as they came over the line. The French team have high hopes of their high hurdlers in this 110-metre hurdles with the likes of Martineau Lagarde. And 13.16 seconds, a personal best for the Frenchman, just heading David Oliver, the defending champion. Both look comfortable though. David Oliver, for me, the experienced man, 33 years old, but he's made changes this year. He's split with his long-term coach, Brooks Johnson, that says I'm old enough and wise enough to know what I'm doing. But those two comfortably ahead, Steve, in that third semi-final, and good running by that Frenchman. And I think it confirms that the other Frenchman, Martineau Lagarde, will go through with 13.17, and also potentially Garfield Derrien, the other French athlete, with 13.25. I can see why the French are excited about these guys.
Yeah, all 3 of the Frenchmen will be in the final, and that's great for them. It hasn't been a sparkling World Championship for them so far. Their great favourite, Renaud Lavillenie, had to settle for bronze in the pole vault, but there's room for improvement here from David Oliver. Arguably not quite as impressive as Aries Merritt was in his qualification run, or perhaps Shabenkov in the first of the semis.
Yeah, that's right. I think David really just eased up a little bit there. Big chest, I thought maybe just carried him across the line first, but he just lost out there by 100th of a second. That's the performance. Basco's time, 13.16. Oliver just 100th of a second behind in 13.17. Bühler will have to wait now to see if he gets through, but I don't think he has. There's the qualifying for the final of that 110-metre hurdles. France there with 2 competitors, Martin Lagarde and Darien, just taking those last spots.